Right now, you might be a plaintiff in a $900 million lawsuit against the company behind Steam, and you probably have no idea. Vicky Shotbolt, a digital rights activist, filed the case on behalf of roughly 14 million UK Steam users. By her own admission, she isn't actually a gamer. This diagram illustrates the core of her argument. It shows a standard 30% commission on every sale being siphoned off by Valve. Shotbolt claims this forces developers to pass those costs directly onto players, artificially inflating the base price of PC games. The lawsuit specifically targets Steam's price parity obligations, or PPOs. These rules prevent developers from selling their games or downloadable content on competing storefronts at a lower price than they do on Steam. On the surface, this looks like a straightforward consumer protection case, a fight to end monopolistic price inflation and hold a massive market leader accountable. Valve initially tried to get these claims thrown out on technicalities. However, in January 2026, the UK Competition Appeal Tribunal rejected those arguments and cleared the case for a full trial in 2026. Because of how this opt-out lawsuit is structured, any UK user over 13 who bought a Steam game between 2018 and 2024 is automatically included. Unless you actively file paperwork to remove your name, you are currently suing Valve. This creates a strange paradox. The strategy failed because Epic built a basic shop, while Steam had built a community. Players prioritize user reviews, robust forums, and seamless gifting over a slightly smaller price tag. The shooter Witchfire serves as proof. It launched as a one-year exclusive on Epic to secure early funding. But the game only found its massive success, racking up 500,000 downloads, once it migrated to Steam's ecosystem. Consumers are prioritizing platform stability and community features. They are choosing the monopoly because it provides a superior experience. This data visualization reveals the sheer size of the ecosystem players are buying into. This massive cluster represents Steam's library of 100,000 titles, which completely dwarfs the Epic Game Store's offering of just 4,000. To keep a library of that magnitude functioning, the 30% fee powers the infrastructure. It funds the hosting for massive community hubs, continuous customer support, and the server networks for cloud saves. Valve also uses those commissions to fund research and development. That revenue subsidized the engineering behind the Steam Deck, a piece of hardware that has expanded the PC market into the handheld space. Eliminating that 30% commission would degrade back-end services and likely halt the expensive hardware projects that keep the platform competitive. The legal path to defeating Valve was paved in October 2025. In a landmark case, the UK tribunal ruled against Apple, declaring their identical 30% App Store commission to be unlawfully excessive and unfair. If Valve loses in the UK, it creates a massive global vulnerability. American lawyers fighting an ongoing 2021 antitrust case in the US will use this ruling as a blueprint to win their own battle. This threatens any platform operating a walled garden. The same UK court is currently processing multiple actions against Google, and a loss for Valve leaves Google's defense in serious trouble. This localized UK court case now represents the brutal frontline of a global war against tech platform commissions. If the lawsuit succeeds, your individual refund would be between $30 and $60, enough for one game or a few pieces of DLC. But the cost to the gaming ecosystem would be far higher. To reclaim lost revenue, Valve would likely start charging developers separately for tools like Steamworks and server hosting. For small indie studios, these new barriers to entry would make experimental games too financially risky to produce. Removing the price parity obligations creates a massive incentive for major publishers like Electronic Arts to pull their games off Steam. They would return to hosting games exclusively on their own fragmented launchers to avoid platform fees. The unified PC library would be shattered. You would be forced to juggle dozens of different launchers, with game progress and friends lists disconnected between entirely separate platforms. Digital rights activists believe they are saving consumers money. In reality, they are dismantling the only PC gaming ecosystem that actually works.